Hello, Vanage Mbaramsiza. This is the Nakinyuguzi Chronicles. My name is Nana Kagga, and this is our Friday night edition. Banange tuwaye. It's interesting. I've actually gotten used to lockdown. Now I'm actually anxious about getting back to the new normal. I'm actually, it's funny. The human mind is an amazing thing. We think we can't do things, and then it becomes, your normal. And now, I get anxious at the thought of returning into this hectic world that we live in, where one has appointments, has work, has commitments. Anyway, let me not wax poetic about that. Now, today, I want to talk about an interesting post that a friend of mine, Joyce Nalunga, put up yesterday about these .com kids not knowing how to make our local dishes. Now, I get offended at the word local because I feel like it's derogatory to our cuisine as Africans. And I will use the word Africans because now there's so many multicultural marriages that one can't define themselves just by tribe alone. So we have these African dishes that were absolutely, superb in my opinion, and they were definitive of who we were. Emere ngeva awantu. It was part of our identity. The way we cooked it, the way we served it, the way we ate with our visitors or our family, again, was very much a cultural tradition. There was engeri nga olina okutuukiriza emitendera nga tulina engeri ettooke bw'olifumbamu ne liboobera n'okola enva kazibe za kinyeebwa nazo ne kweganga omuntu omanyi how to make our dishes, our cultural dishes. Now we're not teaching our children how to do this. We're raising a generation that's growing up on burgers, on KFC, on spaghetti bolognese, on you get people now on actually Facebook posting about teaching their children how to cook in an African kitchen, and they're teaching them how to cook Western dishes. So the question Joyce raised that I was so in awe of, and she posted a picture of it, and she asked if we're actually carrying on the tradition of teaching our children how to make our culture foods. Now, there's a new trend that's come in the last decades or in the last years in the Western world, where now our culture cuisine that we have lived with on centuries is called organic food, simply because it's got no additives. We basically cooked our culture cuisines in a certain way for a reason. A lot of it was also health-based. We did not have the diseases that we have today. And it was so imperative that when you got a visitor from a different region, they got to taste your food, which was part of your identity, which spoke about who you were. We cannot lose the art of making our culture foods, banange, despite the fact that some of us live in the diaspora. It doesn't take much, because I know for a fact you can buy matoke in London, I'm sure you can buy it in Qatar, I'm sure you can buy it in the US. It does not take much. I'm not saying that you're going to teach your child right now, if you live in the diaspora, how to to actually make matoke nateka kuchoto naliboveza. No. All I'm saying is that they have to know how to make our culture foods because it's inherently part of their DNA. Again, it goes back to culture. It's cultural erosion if your child does not know your culture food, if they don't know your cultural cuisine. Same thing with their native tongue, because our culture embodies so much of what we put in our bodies, the way we present ourselves. So emere yafe we must carry on the art of making our local foods. God, local, that word again. We must carry on the art of making our local foods and pass it on to our children. Nigerians do it. I'm sure even Ghanaians do it. I know for a fact that Nigerians are really militant about eating their own food. And you can make fun of them because of colonialism as well. We think that when you do Western dishes, again, it's a representation of how well you're doing in life. Instead of when we get visitors and we make our local dishes, back in the day, it used to be, a momentous occasion for someone to partake of your cultural cuisine with you. And in a way, when we eat our culture foods, there's a way you sit, a way you serve. It encouraged families to stay together. Ekijjulo ky'emmere was imperative. It was a ceremony. It was a time of the day that you shared with your family, with your parents, with your grandparents. It's imperative that we bring our cuisine back so that we don't lose our culture DNA. Again, our cultural dishes are as important as our native languages, as important as our culture dress. Bannange simanyi kyakubagamba bameka mmwe kaakati bamaama oba bataata abayigiriza abaana okwambala busuuti oba okwambala your culture dress in the proper way. Sigambye nti omwana asuulako busuuti n'akumba kubanga ffenna tulabye ebifaananyi ebimu abaana nga baganda nga beesibye busuuti n'otunuulira omwana n'oga nti wandiresseeyo nenneeyisa ng'oyambadde busuuti erina ekitiibwa kyekuwa. How many of us have passed on the art of the male child wearing a kanzu and wearing it properly? N'ateekako ekkooti n'akumba nga musajja wa Kabaka. We cannot lose our dishes. I'm sure, by the way, this is something that's covered in the Chisakate. A lot of people have been asking me, okay, you've touched on these issues, but what are the solutions? I think that what I need to do, and I tried to do it before, but I failed miserably because my internet was not that great. What we need to do now is share with each other places, events, footage, videos that we know that will carry on or will guide us in the implementation of these things. Bannange tuleme kunyooma mmere yaffe, tuleme kunyooma nnimi zaffe, tuleme kunyooma nnyambala yaffe. Sigambye baganda bokka ffenna tulina okukiteekako essira. Because if we lose our cultural languages, we lose our cultural cuisine, we lose our cultural dressing, we have nothing. We absolutely have nothing. We might as well go back to being assimilated in the Western world and being stripped of our color, our languages, our dignity, our pride. So now bamama mukasera kana aka COVID simanyi nnaku ze tusigazaayo ne bataata. Let's take the time to prep traditional dishes with our children. I know it's not easy, it's hard because some things are not done that way, they're done this way, but take the time. And if you don't know how to do it, there's always a family member that knows how to do it. Let's be inquisitive. Let's ask each other how to do these things. And if you know how to do them properly, please share videos. Please share videos. I'm such a passionate cultural person. And I haven't always been like this, like I shared. It's just that as you grow older, you start to realize that you are a definition of the people that you come from. So I've become more passionate about, speaking my language. I've become more passionate in the way I raise my children. I become more passionate in the way I eat. Njagala nnyo kati emmere eŋŋanda n'enkoko eŋŋanda. Guys, traditional dishes are so healthy. They are so healthy. We were never an unhealthy people. And now that we've adopted Western cuisine and foods, you've got people suffering from diabetes, hypertension. But again, we've been, brainwashed into thinking that when you can serve your child chips and chicken from Monday to Monday, it shows how well you're doing. And I think, again, stature is not defined by, you speaking a foreign language, be it English, French, or German, and serving French toast in your house or having chips and chicken. Stature isn't defined by that. Stature is defined by your manners, your culture, your sense of self, your sense of self-control, your ability to respect all human beings, to maintain dignity in the face of prejudice. But in order to do those things, we must know who we are. So the only way you know who and what you are is by knowing your lineage, your culture, and making sure that you pass that on to your children. Like I said, let's take time now. It's time for knowledge sharing. Let's do it. Let's teach each other how to do the things that were done in times gone past, that were actually empowering. Let's teach our children to celebrate our local dishes, to celebrate our traditional cuisine. kubanga bannaitera ekintu kisinga ttooke mbaganda sijja balimba teba mmere nga tekuli ttooke. So I expect some feedback on this video. I expect people to say, I know how to cook kalo. May I do a small video and we share it? Because that's what's happening. As we sit in this COVID, we're sharing knowledge. We're empowering each other. We're reminding each other of, what we need to be, what we need to pass on. So I'm encouraging, the mama and tata parents, please, if you know how to make a dish, if you know a place where, children can be taught how to do these things, then please let's share. Again, this is the Nakinyuguzi Chronicles, and I will see you very soon. Mubeere bulungi. Nze sikyalaba mawulire gw'olaba. So depressing. When you hear about all sorts of conspiracy theories, such as Bill Gates pushing for a vaccine for COVID, knowing full well that COVID-19, the only way I wouldn't say we can eradicate it, the only way that we can actually win the fight against COVID-19 is if we learn in a sustainable way how to live within an environment that has a risk of anyone contracting COVID-19, because that is life. It's not going to go anytime soon. So all these measures, vaccines and all that sort of thing, I would advocate for us learning how to live in a world where COVID-19 is not going to go away. But again, in every situation, there's always a silver lining, because it has taught us hygiene and sanitation again. My name is Till next time.